We fight for that inch.
Rarely do I see any American Italians eating in here.
But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
Villkoret är att jag får leva.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Welcome back to Real Genius. I am Chris Vognar, culture critic for the Dallas Morning News.
And I'm Robert Wilonsky, digital managing editor for the Dallas Morning News.
Robert, this week we're talking about Trainwreck, which,
which
coincidentally was going to be the name of Real Genius, but then we decided on Real Genius instead.
Actually, it's the name of my firstborn
although
son.
we can still be a train wreck every now and then. Your firstborn son is sitting right over there. How are you going to do that?
That's why I used the joke.
That's not nice.
Because he's sitting right there.
Amy Schumer, Robert, is the star and the writer of Trainwreck. We know her and love her from Inside Amy Schumer.
Do you love being inside Amy
from
Schumer?
Comedy Central. I haven't seen it enough to say I love it, but I think she's very, very funny. And I think Judd Apatow, who directed Trainwreck, is an interesting and very effective match for her, and we can talk about that a little bit. But first, impressions of Trainwreck. How do you think it fits into the Judd Apatow canon?
I think, like all Judd Apatow movies, it's about half an hour too long.
Yes.
It is 2 hours. It could easily sit at 90 minutes.
What is it? It's about it's 125 minutes, so yeah, it's 205.
It's a little long. Boy, and you can tell that they trimmed out a bunch of stuff from it.
Yeah, it's
there
funny.
There are big gaps, and they were like, wait, what just happened?
Right. The Apatow deal is, I know we're both fans as well. He shoots improv and shoots improv and shoots improv and then cuts around it. And I think that it's funny. It's a double-edged sword, and I write this in my review. I gave it a B+. I laughed.
That's what I gave
times.
Ant-Man.
There you go. We're the B+ brothers. You're going to get these really nice, loose, spontaneous comedy moments, and then you're also going to get a story that just at some point stops moving.
All right, so let's real quick. Then we'll look at a clip in a sec. But real quick, we'll set it up. Amy Schumer plays Amy because she always plays a character named Amy because it's just easier that way.
That's how she rolls.
She wrote it. She plays basically just a gender-bended romantic comedy.
Girl.
She plays the party girl who doesn't believe in monogamy because her father, played by Colin Quinn, told her and her sister when they were young not to be monogamous because it's a lie, it's a myth, it's unnecessary, and so she spends her 20s and early 30s
hopping from bed to bed.
Right. She does have a boyfriend who's a muscle-bound lunkhead who's also probably gay, and then she meets a sports doctor played by Bill Hader, who she's assigned to do a piece on for the magazine where she works called Snuff.
Snuff, S''N''U"F"F, as in snuff.
Right, or also Snuff.
Yes, that too.
Which is a funny joke.
Which is run by the great Tilda Swinton.
Who, I have to say, for the first time in her entire body of work, appears to have some color in her skin. And then you realize, oh wait, she's actually a striking woman because she's not translucent. Because most of the time you can just see through Tilda Swinton. She's very funny, she's very bawdy, she's very tremendous. A lot of great people in the supporting cast, a lot of Saturday Night Live cast members. But she commits the worst sin you can commit in journalism outside of plagiarism, which is sleeping with their subject, and no one seems to mind.
Yeah, it's
care.
This is not a very good journalism 101.
It's the worst journalism movie ever made.
Do not sleep with your sources, Robert. It's just a bad idea. And no, I don't say that from experience.
Says the man who sounds like he knows it from experience. All right, so here's a clip from Trainwreck, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about what else but Trainwreck.
Oh my God, he's calling.
Why would he call? You guys just had sex.
It's probably a mistake. It's a mistake.
He's butt dialing you.
Hello?
Oh, hey there, it's Aaron.
Oh, this is Amy. I think you butt dialed me.
No, I dialed you with my fingers.
What'd she say?
Shh. He called me on purpose.
Hang up. He's obviously like sick or something. Please.
Yeah, what's up?
I was just calling to say I had a really good time last night. I was wondering if you wanted to hang out again.
Will you say that again, please?
I was wondering if I could see you again.
You know what? I'm gonna call the police.
Hold on. Yeah, I'll just talk to you about it tomorrow at the interview, okay?
Oh, yes. Yes, she said
Okay.
yes. She said yes.
Bye.
All right, I'll talk to you then.
Oh, man.
Huh?
We should probably say a word about LeBron James as well, because that is in fact LeBron James.
I thought we said more than one
in
word
that
about
scene, playing a very kind of cheap, skinflint, starry-eyed, romantic, sensitive Cleveland boosterism version.
Who for some reason
of
lives in New
himself,
York.
Who spends a lot of time in New York hanging out with the New York Knicks team doctor,
Right.
sports surgeon. I thought LeBron was actually one of the best things about this movie. I don't think he's not going to be mistaken for a professional actor, but I love this particular self-send-up of LeBron James.
Well, I mean, look, you and I both said it after the movie. We just looked at each other and said, "I want to see nothing but a DVD of LeBron outtakes."
Yes, and there's no outtakes at the end of this.
No, but because he's extraordinarily funny in this. And look, as you can see from the clip, it's gender bended. He's Bill Hader and LeBron are the traditional female parts in the romantic comedy, as opposed to Amy Schumer and her pals, who are all the liberated women who believe that they don't need to have long-term relationship with men to make them happy.
Yes, and I think it does that bending rather smartly.
Sure, that's Amy Schumer. She's as smart as they come.
And the thing that I like, and it's funny, I get the impression that they kind of, Schumer and Apatow deserve equal credit for what this turns out to be, because you find touches of both of them. What I like about even the Apatow movies I don't like very much, and I did like this one, there's these moments of real humanity and real emotion that peek out from all of the bodiness. And when he's on, and I kind of think he's on in this, even though it is, like you said, a little bit too long, those moments seem to come pretty frequently. Colin Quinn is fantastic.
Well, I was going to say he's
the dad.
LeBron James and Colin Quinn, strangely enough, are the two best parts of this movie. I love Amy Schumer. A lot of what you see here feels a bit like sketches sort of strung together. It's funny, you and I have a good friend in Sarah Hepola, who wrote a book called Blackout.
Who sat behind us at the screening.
Sarah and I spent an hour after this movie talking about it. She was not a huge fan of it, because she felt like the movie really glibly handles a lot of the things that are discussed in her book.
I could totally see her. I was just thinking about that as I was writing my reviews. I thought Sarah didn't like this very much.
Yeah, so it was funny. I kind of felt the same way, and if Sarah hadn't been there, and if I hadn't been thinking about that while I'm watching the movie, I would have thought maybe it would have been heavy on my mind, but it was in some ways. I think Schumer, who's incredibly smart. Last Effable Day, the 12 Angry Men sketch from Inside Amy Schumer. Hell, I can't get Milk Lemonade out of my head after watching the last scene of this movie. She is as big a comedic talent as we have seen in probably 50 years. She'll be here in a few months at the Oddball Comic Festival. I'm excited to see her again. She's just extraordinary. And she's smart, and she's deft, and she's crafty and witty about how she handles the things that Twitter basically discusses: gender inequality, race, and sex, and all those things. I mean, this movie is a 2-hour Twitter feed, basically, in a lot of ways. And I think it's just great in terms of the way it handles it. I just think that there are some moments that feel more like a sketch than a fully realized portrait. Mm-hmm. And I think that's because she's a great sketch comic.
I also think that's a lot of Apatow. I think you can say that for many Apatow movies, and I'm with you on Schumer. I think she's the real deal. Her boss, the Tilda Swinton character, the horrible, toxic, sadistic editor of this snuff magazine. She has a great line. She's talking to Amy, and she says, "I like you, Amy. You're pretty. You're prettyish,
right,
and you're not gorgeous." And Amy Schumer has this. She does not look like a supermodel, and she uses this sort of regular girl thing. I mean, it's just who she is. It's not a thing, but she uses her persona to great advantage. She uses it to get away with saying some really funny, outrageous stuff. And I love to see a comedian make it like this in that kind of way. It reminds me, a little bit of Sarah Silverman in that sense.
Less Jewy.
Well, you're Jewish, so you can say these. I guess I'm Jewish too, so I can say these things. Yes, less Jewy. Certainly, but that's certainly a point of comparison. She is breaking some ground, and I give Apatow credit for recognizing that years ago and saying, "Hey, I want to make a movie with this woman."
Right.
So
we both really liked it.
Yeah, we liked it.
I mean, it's not an unequivocal rave. I mean, it is weirdly conventional. also in a strange way. I mean, I do.
You know exactly where it's going.
There's not a surprise in this movie except for LeBron, Colin Quinn's performance, and a couple of things that don't really fit in a movie anyway that felt more like they should be part of the Inside Amy Schumer as opposed to a feature film.
And we should say
starring Amy Schumer.
Colin Quinn plays Amy's dad, who is suffering from MS,
Right.
and he's sort of a son of a bitch, and
Sort of.
but he's vulnerable because we can see that he's not doing well, and Quinn really walks that line.
Oh
I
my
think
God,
it's actually-
he's great.
It's a really nicely calibrated performance.
I think we've come into an age where we realize that Colin Quinn and Norm Macdonald may have been two of Saturday Night Live's greatest exploits.
Always a fan of both of them.
Me too. But I think people finally realize that is in fact two great artists.
Yes, and then
All right.
Tim Meadows has the smallest Tim Meadows part.
Oh, it's tragic how
of
small
all
that
time.
part is.
Yes, a lot of little SNL faces popping up here and there. That's Trainwreck. We both liked it. Go see it. Come back and see
What are we
us.
doing next week?
Next week we'll be talking about a movie,
Oh, good. I look forward to that.
unless we talk about a TV show. But I have a feeling it will be a movie.
I have no idea.
Find out when we find out next week on Real Genius.